in this video, I am eating my words and making it my mission to turn Hawaiian Punch into beer that's actually good. I have no idea if this is gonna work.
Yikes.
Oh my God.
In our last video, we called out New Belgium's Fruit Punch IPA for not being an actual IPA and tasting absolutely terrible.
Gross. Absolutely disgusting.
But here's the thing, some people actually like this beer.
I love Fruit Punch IPA. It's strong and smooth. What the f is your problem?
And that got us thinking, could we make a version of this beer that's better? Or are we just gonna waste literally a week of our lives trying? Let's find out. Going into this project, we thought we'd only have one problem, and that was getting our beer to taste as fruity as Fruit Force. Making plain old beer is actually pretty easy. You turn starch into sugar, you add some hops, you turn the sugar into alcohol, and boom, you got beer. And we've made plenty of beer. We've even made fruit beer, but we've only done one project ever that's come even close to smelling as fruitastic, as tropalicious, as tutti fruity with the automatic bazooty as New Belgium's Fruit Force. And that was our Welch's Wine project. With the Welch's Wine project, even after weeks of fermentation and aging, the wine still had that artificial Concord grape flavor and smell. Shout out to 1950s food science for absolutely dominating about 1.5 billion years of evolution. And because New Belgium's Fruit Force smells almost identical to off-the-shelf Hawaiian Punch, it just seemed like a no-brainer to replace the water in our recipe with Hawaiian Punch. So that's what we did. And you know, problem solved. Sort of. We also added some malted barley to this recipe, which we crushed in our sweet grain mill, which is available on www.clawhammersupply.com. Buy now, act fast, supplies limited. Once the grain was milled, we added that malted barley to our super rad 10.5 gallon electric brewing system, also available on clawhammersupply.com, where we sell things to pay for these silly videos. Once we were mashed in, we tested the specific gravity, which is the density or basically the sugar content of the liquid. But there was already actually plenty of sugar in the Hawaiian Punch to make reasonably strong beer, and everything was going seemingly very well. That was until we took a pH reading and discovered that the Hawaiian Punch was about to eat a hole in our stainless steel brewing kettle, because holy crap, is it acidic, which we kind of expected but didn't think it would be this extreme. The reason it's so acidic is the same reason that it also contains preservatives, which is to actually prevent the exact process that we are trying to make happen here. The preservatives and the acidity stop yeast from growing and other bacteria from growing in the bottle while it's sitting on the shelf, which would turn this thing into like literally prison wine. But anyway, who would have guessed that we would have encountered this problem? It's not like we just fermented a bunch of Mountain Dew literally 9 months earlier and had the same exact issue. But what we did for that project was to actually treat the Mountain Dew with baking soda to raise the pH and to counteract the preservatives. We have baking soda, but we forgot about the fact that baking soda tastes really salty. And it didn't matter with the Mountain Dew because we distilled it and the salt was left behind in the still and it didn't make its way into the final product, so it didn't taste salty at all. However, that's definitely going to matter for this project. We're not distilling it. We're just gonna drink whatever is fermented, and it's probably gonna taste really salty if we use baking soda, so we can't do that. By the way, we're live streaming all of our brew videos in 2025, so if you want to see the disasters unfold in real time, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hey, even become a member and you get special perks during live streams. But anyway, we asked the people in the live stream, we did a little bit of chat GPTing, and what we came up with was, I guess, the next best thing that we could get immediately, which was Tums. That's right, those little fruity chews that you eat when you've had too many hot wings are made out of calcium carbonate, which actually reduces acidity and increases pH. So boom, problem solved, literally. I smashed a bunch of Tums with a construction hammer because they weren't dissolving very well on their own, and that's what one does when you're improvising in a situation like this. We added the Tums to the Hawaiian Punch in the kettle, and it definitely did raise the pH. Not exactly as far as we should have raised it, and I don't know why we didn't didn't add more, it's probably just because nobody really wanted this project to work anyway. And in fact, we even tried some more fruit force while we were brewing it just to make sure that this was a horrible idea and we shouldn't be doing it, and yep, confirmed. But that actually reminded us of the original problem we were trying to solve. One, we want to make this beer taste better in general, and two, we want to make it taste more like an IPA, because in our opinion, fruit force doesn't really taste a whole lot like hops. So after we were done extracting the sugar from the grain, we used our brew system basket to remove the grain from the liquid. After that, we heated the liquid up to a boil and started adding hops. The first addition is called a bittering addition, and it consisted of 1 ounce of Simcoe and 1 ounce of Amarillo. The challenge with this beer, well, one of the many challenges with this beer, was going to be adding enough hops to make it super obvious that this is an IPA, but not adding so many hops that it just doesn't work with the fruit punch. If we would have added a ton of bittering hops, that would have made this, well, super bitter, and we didn't think that would work very well with the fruit flavors. So what we did was we boiled those hops for 60 minutes, adding some bitterness, and then we chilled the liquid down to 170 degrees and added more hops in what's called a whirlpool edition. We added 2 ounces of a newish hop out of New Zealand called Superdelic, and then 2 more ounces of a brand new experimental, really fruity tasting hop. And the reason we added this hop addition at this lower temperature, because the lower temperature will extract less of the bitterness and preserve more of the aroma and the actual hop flavor. But we didn't stop there. We went all out and added some stuff called Phantasm to really make the fruit flavors pop, and we even added 2 different types of yeast nutrients to this project to ensure healthy fermentation. The last thing we did to absolutely make sure that this beer had the best chance of being palatable was we made a yeast starter ahead of time, because the Hawaiian Punch, even though we raised the pH, still has some preservatives in it. So we thought absolutely nuking this thing with a huge dose of yeast was going to help as well. So to wrap the brew day up, we aerated it for a few minutes and the beer was on its way. Despite the setbacks at this point, we were all feeling pretty good about our efforts and pretty good about the prospect of this beer actually tasting great. With that in mind, I'm just gonna let the tasting speak for itself.
Awesome
color.
I was thinking the fermentation might strip some of that red dye number 9. Or
Red 40
40
is resilient.
That is not a bad aroma at all.
The Belgium has more of an actual Hawaiian Punch vibe. If I had to guess which one was made with Hawaiian Punch, I actually would say this one. I'm not gonna lie, all right, my first impression is,
I think ours smells better.
I'm going opposite.
Yeah?
I don't particularly love the smell of ours. First things first, to all the haters out there who said we're too old to know what good beer is these days. I had a prostate exam recently and I'm fine.
Ours smells too sweet.
Yeah.
And this one I can at least get booze on.
It smells like garbage.
It's not gotten any better. Yeah, dude, it's the alcohol. It tastes like a bad hard seltzer.
It's yeasty to me.
I was gonna say yeasty as well.
Burning a little bit more than it did the first time.
Obviously, the reason it's so cheap is because there's can't be many hops in there. And they're probably using just a ton of adjunct sugar as well.
You would think.
Not even like grain and malt, it's just some sort of,
Bare minimums.
yeah.
Are we keeping it real?
Yeah.
I do not like
100%.
that. I don't. I really don't like that one, and I really don't like ours.
That's worse. I'm out.
Super unpleasant in my
I mean,
mouth.
I know how.
Yeah.
I know how it's worse.
Yeah.
I feel like I taste the Tums. Kind of
Yeah,
get like a
that's a-
fizzy.
Yeah.
But I mean, it could also be one of the other many things that are in here.
I'm gonna wash it down with this.
That's how you know you fucked up when you're washing it down with.
I would like to apologize to New Belgium. This beer is fantastic.
My tummy hurts.
I don't even think it's worth describing what it tastes like, because I would say don't brew it. All the hops we added, like, where did they go? I don't know.
I don't even taste like bittering hops anymore. It's
No,
just like.
Well, I think we found the secret, the hack though, to fruit force. Brew something that's so garbage that when you wash it down with this, it actually tastes
great.
good.
Ours is real bad.
Oh, they're both bad.
Oh my
I
god.
wonder if they're
Tummy.
open.